Hey, how are you today? This is Auntie Nat's Crochet. Glad you chose this tutorial video. Allow me to teach you how to play with yarn. I have hundreds over videos, so do subscribe to my channel. The subscribe button is at this corner over here. It will mean the world to me. And today I'm going to make a croissant sandwich. I found this yarn, which I think, if not mistaken, it would look quite like a croissant because of this kind of woody color, and I will use 3 other colors as well just to make the sandwich colorful. And these are cotton yarn. Some are 3-ply cotton yarn, if not mistaken. This is a 4-ply cotton yarn, slightly thicker. So it also depends on the yarn you're using. If your yarn is thicker, your amigurumi will come out way bigger than mine. Okay, slightly bigger maybe. So since I'm using 3-ply and 4-ply cotton yarn, I'll be using a 3.5 mm hook. Okay, now let the fun begin. Okay, the croissant, I'm going to make section by section, and I'm going to sew it together so that this part here is open up and it looks more like a sandwich, like this. It looks more like a sandwich so that I can add stuff inside, you know, like your lettuce or whatever. So here you need a bit of sewing, so every section I will leave a little bit of tail because I might need to sew the tip here, you know, croissant, the tip here, you do not want to see the hole, and then maybe have to sew it together with the vegetables and all that. I'm not sure yet. So I'm gonna make each section gonna be slightly bigger than the one earlier, you know, until I come to a shape of a croissant. So this is the tip. You're gonna make one on here and one on the other end. So this is the tip. For the tip, you make a knot. Okay, this is just my habit of making a knot. So after this knot, you're gonna do a chain 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You're going to do a chain 5, 2, 4. Okay, this is 5 actually. So you're going to do a chain 5, and now you're going to start from the second stitch from the hook. This is the hook. This is the first stitch. This is the second stitch. I'm going to do half double crochet. Go to this second stitch, you do a half double crochet increase, means you do 2 half double crochet into the same stitch. When you do increase, it will curl up like this. So this is one increase, then you go to the next stitch, you do another increase. So all in you should have 4 increase. So second increase, this is the third increase, and this is the 4th increase. It's a half double crochet increase. So once you're done here, go back to that same stitch, you do a slip stitch, chain 1, and pull tight, and it will curl because this part here, the top part here, is wider and this part is kind of narrow, so you curl up like this. So these 2 will be the tip of the croissant. So I'm gonna cut the yarn, leave a little bit of tail in case I might need to seal the tip here, seal it shut. And this tail here, you try and hide it inside here as much as you can before you cut it. And now we go to the next section. Okay, this is the second section. You will curl up like this. So this is longer than the first one. So I will be joining this here. You have the solid here. So when it curls up like this, it does look like a croissant to me. So because here I have 5 stitches, I mean here I started with 5, here I go 7, so you just stitch it here. Make sure it goes on top of this line here. Make sure you sew it on top, and it will look like, you know, it's kind of like a croissant. So now we're going to do the second section. Same thing, I'm going to do 2 of it. This is for the left end and this is for the right end. Okay, and you have one section here and one section here. So we're going to build from this way. And the middle part, someone took a bite on it. I hope it turns out what I imagine it to be. Okay, let's try. Okay, you're gonna make a knot. This time round, I'm gonna start with chain 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Chain 7. Then I'm going to do half double crochet again. So you're gonna yarn over. You go to the second stitch from your hook. This is the hook. This is the first stitch. This is the second stitch. You go to the second stitch. You do 2 half double crochet. This is 1. Into the same stitch you do second one. So this is a half double crochet increase. Then you go to the next stitch, same thing. You do half double crochet increase. Now the middle 2 stitch here, I am going to do 3 half double crochet into that same stitch so that it will curl up even more. 1, 2, 3. So there are 3 half double crochet into the same stitch. Same goes for the next stitch. 1, 2, and 3. And the balance 2 stitch, just do half double crochet increase. 1, 2, the last stitch, same thing. 1 and 2. And once you are here, because there's 3 strands here, it's best that you go back to the same stitch and do a slip stitch, chain 1, pull tight, make a knot here, then cut the yarn. Make sure you leave a bit of a tail for sewing, because I don't think you can use glue for this. So you sew it here like this. Then we will create section by section. Okay, I've joined this part here. This is the first part, the second part, and now I'm gonna show you how I'm gonna do this third part here. Because once I sew here, this part is where the croissant, someone took a bite in the middle here. So I do not want it to take a bite at the side. I want it to take a bite in the middle, so it still shows there's a croissant, but someone took a bite in the middle. I hope it looks like that. Okay, now I'll show you how I'm going to do this and how I'm going to sew it together. Okay, now the third section or segment. You make a knot. After you make a knot, you chain 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Make 5 stitches. Then you yarn over. You go to the second stitch from the hook. This is the hook. This is the first stitch. This is the second stitch. Go to the second stitch and make half double crochet increase. Means 2 half double crochet into that same stitch. Then the next stitch, I'm going to do 3 half double crochet in this stitch. So 1, 2, and 3. Same goes for the next one. Oops. 1, 2, 3, and the last one I'm going to do half double crochet increase, means only 2 half double crochet into that same stitch, because I want it to curl nicely like this. Then go back to that same stitch, do a slip stitch, chain 1 and pull tight to lock it. And then you cut the yarn. Make sure you have a bit of a tail to sew it onto the. Here I am going to just put it through this short tail here. Just let it go through all this half double crochet. Then you cut the yarn. And this part here, and let me show you how I'm gonna sew it. Okay, this is the shorter one, this is the longer one. So same thing, make it go through. Make it go through a bit before you cut the yarn so that it won't come off easily. And you cut it. So don't use this one to sew onto this one. Use the tail from here to sew it here. Because this tail, I am going to sew the tip here. You know how Croissant looks, right? I mean, it has a tip like this. Kinda. So I need this to sew here. To make it look like this. Here, same thing, the shorter one, just bring it along, hide it inside, oops, and I use the longer one to sew onto to attach this second part to the first part. Oops. Okay, and cut the yarn. Ooh, this is, I hope this is enough. Okay, let's see. It's kind of short. You use this. And sew it onto here like this. So this part here, sew it onto this last stitch here. Leave this one alone unless you do not have enough yarn, and then you sew here. Then the front will look like this. So when it curls, it does look like, you know, oh, I should cut this. Oh yeah, I forgot, this is, I should hide this in the inside instead. Make a wrong choice, it's okay. And still cut it away. And try to make this end meet this end. This far end here, try to make it meet this end here. Oops. Like this, so that it looks like, you know, all the ends are joined together. So when you curl it, this will kind of have this bump thing like the croissant. So here, just make a few stitches so that it, oops, so that it won't come up easily. Then make a few stitches around here to hide it. So we have two ends here, one here and one here, and now the middle part. Oh, this is a shorter end. Okay, I think I joined wrongly. Okay, let me do that again. I'll show you another set. I think I saw wrongly. This one should be here in front and this one should be at the back. Okay, my mistake. I'll show you again. Okay, my mistake earlier on. Let me show you again. This is the first set that we did. And this is the second set that we did. And this is the third set. The one with chain 5 and 3 half double crochet in the middle. So this one should be here. So I have to put this aside first. Let's sew this one first. Sorry, got carried away. So this one, just put it here. It doesn't really matter how you're gonna sew it. There's no fixed rule to this. I'm gonna use the yarn here for the top and this shorter yarn for this bottom here. Okay, so I'm going to do this. It should fit nicely. Then here, make sure the corner are joined properly so that it looks like it's joined up together like this. You can make few stitches here, see, so that it looks joined up. So when you bend it, it does look like, you know, that croissant thing. So I can leave this here in case I might need it for sewing. So I have one part here and one part here, and now I'm going to sew this part to the top here. This should be in the middle here. Okay, I do not know where is the middle. I just make a wild guess. Just a rough idea. I didn't really count the number of stitches, so let's see, it should be here like this. Let's try. And you stitch it up like this. So it's like hanging in the middle. Okay, it's roughly is in the middle. Then maybe make one stitch here to kind of make it look like it joined properly. Here it comes down here. You just take a look and see if the joining part is right. Then, so the croissant is supposed to curve, right? Croissant are supposed to curve. And I'm gonna join this part together. Okay, let me join the back part here first. The back here, need to join it together. Hopefully it will look like that croissant, you know, the tip of the croissant, like this. So if you think it still does not look like a croissant, make a few more stitches to cover up this hole. You know that crisscross, you do a bit of a crisscross here. There, your croissant is sealed. Oh, sorry, can you see that? Just make it go through all this to seal the hole here, so you make it look as croissant as possible. does it look like a croissant tip? I mean, this color yarn is really nice. You can't really see the stitches well. You can't see like I'm doing a crisscross there. So the croissant here is sealed. Then you go to the back. If possible, just hide it around here, then cut the yarn. This time round, I want to cut the yarn because when you sew, all this might chuck out at the side, because this croissant is not like this thick. It's kind of thin, so this might chuck out at the side, so I do not want that to happen. So now you have one croissant side. Oops. Okay, I should cut this too. Then I'll do the same here on this side. Then here, let me see how I'm gonna join it. Let me join this part first, and we will do some of the stuffing inside. Then I'll join this part here and see what will happen. Now to join these two together, this is the, since I've sewn here and here, both sides, so this is the tip of the croissant. So now the croissant has been bitten. Someone took a bite in the middle here, so that's why this middle part, if you want a full croissant, you make this full. When you join with this side, you will have a very nice croissant. But now I want it to be eaten, so this one and this one, you face it this way, where the front is with the front, the back is facing us. And where is my okay, you put it together because it had the same number of stitches. Just put it together and sew it together, and you will get a croissant, I hope. Sometimes what I imagine it would be, it might not turn out to be. Because most of the time, I do not have the time to test it out, so whatever you see, most of the time is the first time I'm doing it. The rest is it's in sketches or it's in my brain. So you just sew all around it, and my guess is now it still might not look like a croissant once I've made all those lettuce and egg or whatever fillings for the croissant. Hopefully it will look like a croissant. I think most important is the lettuce, right? I mean, with some lettuce chucking up, it will make it look very sandwich. I just go around it twice since I have the yarn. If you do not want to make it go through twice, you don't have to. Then you just hide it along here, and this is how it looked like. Does it look like a croissant? Here someone took a bite. So when you hold out the croissant, someone took a bite here, right? So okay, I'm gonna get rid of all this. Oh no, oh yes, I don't think we should cut this yet because we need to sew the, I'll just leave it like this because we need this to sew those eggs and all that onto the, oh, this is too loose, let me do that again. Yeah, I'll sew that part again. That's why sometimes it's best to sew it twice, see. It's too loose just now. Okay, I'll come back to you later with the fillings inside. I think I'm gonna use this 3 color. I'm not sure. I mean, you can use brown as well. I thought this would be very colorful. So this should be an egg sandwich with lettuce and I'm not sure, mayonnaise. Okay, I'll come back to you once I fix all this. It's too loose. I should sew it twice. I think all this crochet sandwich makes me crave for sandwich. I think I shall eat sandwich today. Okay, the croissant look like this. I've made a yellow part. This could be the cheese or the egg, I'm not sure. You just make something like this and stuff it into the middle, and later I will sew this. So the egg and the white part, this could be the mayonnaise, is the same. And let me show you how it's done. You make a knot. Okay, this is just my habit of making a knot, and you chain 16. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Then you are going to do a double crochet on the second stitch from the hook. This is the hook, this is the first stitch, this is the second stitch. Starting from the second stitch on to double crochet. So do 5 double crochet. Okay, 5 double crochet. Then the next one I'm gonna do 5 single crochet. Then again another 5 double crochet. Oh, I have one more stitch left. I think maybe I accidentally did extra, so it doesn't really matter. You just slip stitch to here, chain 1 and cut the yarn. Get something like this, and when you tuck it in, it's just nice. Like this. Wow, it's kind of full already. Maybe my croissant should be bigger, and then if you can kind of bend it a bit, you know, so that it looks more like a croissant. So now I'm going to do the lettuce. I'm not sure if this has room for lettuce. I hope so. This is a small croissant. If you want to make a bigger one, then your number of chain should be more. Okay, and cut yarn, because we do not want all this to be chucking out in between. So now let's do the lettuce. I'm gonna do a simple one, so hopefully you got space for our lettuce. Same thing, since that one is a chain 16, so I'm going to chain 16 as well. Okay, make a knot and you chain 16. Okay, so now I'm going to do a single crochet on the second stitch. This is the hook, this is the first stitch, this is the second stitch. I'm going to do a single crochet and I'm going to chain 2 or chain 3 to make it look more like a lettuce. Then you go to the next stitch, you slip stitch, then you chain maybe 4 or 3, I'm not sure. You can do more if you want, but just remember in the middle part it has, someone had took a bite, so that part maybe you don't do. So here you only do like 5 of this. 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 of it. You can chain 2, you can chain 3. So the middle part here, make sure you have 5 rows of single crochet. This is the part where someone took a bite, so this, you don't have all this. 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5, and then again you're gonna slip stitch and do your chain 3 or chain 4 or chain 2. Let some of the lettuce chuck out, the leafy part. So when I sew all this together, just make sure it has room for, you know, like it will curve a bit like the croissant. Okay, let's see. I hope I have room for this. So first thing is, I suggest that maybe we should sew this together first. Kind of make a few stitches for it to stay together. And this, hopefully it stays together. Then add it into the croissant and sew it together, because now you see it keeps coming off, it keeps coming out, and we have to hide all this because the braid is kind of narrow, so you can see all this, and make it curve like this. Oops, sorry, did I went off screen? Or if you can, if you have thinner thread for the inside and a thicker thread for the croissant, and you can add more of this stuff inside here. Okay, I'll try and sew it together in you know, maybe this way. Sew it together nicely so that it will not really move so much. Then add on to the braid. So this part has been eaten, so this one should be here and here. So now with this moving about, I don't think I can show you how I sew. I'll show you maybe halfway through. Okay, I've sewed this together. I use a white yarn to sew it together and make sure all this is at the top of this lettuce, and this part is bitten, and I purposely make a few stitches in white here so it looks as if the egg has mayonnaise. And you place it here. Now it's easier to sew because this is not moving about, and I sew it tightly so that hopefully it's thin. But when you put it here, make sure, like, you know, this part can see a bit of white and this part can see a bit of yellow. And once it's done, make sure you make 1 or 2 stitches here to make it bend like this, so it looks kind of like a croissant, I hope. Does it look like a croissant to you? You can put in the comment section. And this is the tip here. You can put it inside and you use this one to sew it in. It's kind of difficult to sew this now on video, so I'm gonna sew it offline because I can't really see if it's crooked. Okay, you just make sure you stitch through it. Later only we will think of how to make it bend. As for now, just sew across to make it stay. Okay, like here the yarn is a bit loose, hide it inside. So I would have to make sure when I stitch, this loose part is inside. And maybe this, I just make a stitch here all the way across like this, not too tight because you do not want this to show. And I'll just make 1 or 2 stitches to show you roughly how it's gonna be, and the rest I'm gonna do offline. So you follow back this line here, you make a stitch across like this. Oops, all the way, and try to make it bend because croissants are supposed to bend. Okay, I'll come back to you because now I need to go and make a real sandwich for myself for lunch. Okay, I've stitched up most of it, so actually you just poke it here all the way to this side, so all the way. But I should have put some white here because this side I see a lot of white and this side you can see yellow. I should put some white here actually. Well, that's how it looked like. So I'm gonna end this yarn here, just make it go through some of this before I cut the yarn. And here it is, my Bitten croissant. I'm not sure if it looks like a croissant. So which is the one that you prefer? You like the burger or the croissant, sandwich, donut, or the cookie? I think so far cookie is the easiest to do. So is this. So thank you for watching. Hope you like this series. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, and I'll look forward to seeing you in my next post.